And welcome all to the Main Break Halftime Show here, halftime at the Gabba with Adelaide on top with a couple of lucky ones and a nice little late goal to Otten there. 10 goals 5, 65 to Brisbane Wasteful, 4 goals 11, 35. The margin probably doesn't reflect the game at all because, quite frankly, Brisbane have squandered a lot of chances, and I tell you what, we've kicked a couple of lucky ones, and that one on the end there helped us out as well. So not sure whether we actually deserve the 30-point half-time margin, but under the circumstances we'll take it. And there has been a couple of really nice stories so far out of this match in amongst all the mess. So let's have a look at some head-to-head stats first of all. Both teams are certainly kicking more than handballing in the slippery conditions. Adelaide 215 to 194. Marks, or I'm surprised we've got any marks because we can't seem to take a one grab anything. Brisbane 42 to 35 there. Worrying statistic again, tackles 47 to Brisbane, 31 to Adelaide. We're still playing far too much outside the contest. Sources just winning the rucks 21 to 17, but not really being effective. Frees are fairly even, although I don't think the umpires have had a good match either side so far. What have we got here? Inside 50s, 29 to 31 in favour of Adelaide. And just looking at some of the indicators here, contested possessions, we're getting done 83 to 79. Effective disposals, we're going at 65.1%. Brisbane going at 67. Neither team doing really well with the ball in hand. We've had 36 clangers already, only one contested mark, and the clearances are even at 20-20. Thanks to the guys joining us on the chat. Valus and Nicky's there, and Damp Squid. Nicky's whinging about the umpires. Please expand on your rule that you're worried about, Nicky. I don't think the umpires have been that great, but also don't think that they've had as much of an influence on the contest so far as our putrid performance, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at some individual stats, and we have our leading stat winner when the interwebs decide to speed up for me. We've got Lairdy again on 17, Atkins on 16, but I have not been impressed with Atkins at all. We've got Matt Crouch on 16 also, Brad Crouch on 14, but again only Brad Crouch 3 kicks, 11 handballs, Matt Crouch 4 kicks, 12 handballs. Those two boys have had 23 handballs between them. And in a night like tonight when it's slippery, I know you need blokes getting it out, but Brad Crouch hasn't been in and under by any means. I mean, Brad's only had the 3 contested possessions. Matt's only had... How many has Matt had? Matt's had 6 contested possessions. So, and 3 clearances. So they should be kicking the ball more. We need metres gained tonight. Douglas, 14 possessions, but he's been atrocious. Sloaney trying to work himself into the game. Not doing great though, but 14 touches to half-time. A little bit freer than in the previous couple of weeks. Lukey Brown and Jakey Lever both on 11. I thought our defence as a whole has probably kept us in the game to a large degree. Tommy Lynch 10, Brody Smith 10, Talia 9, Kirtley Hampton 8, Hugh Greenwood 9 of the best debut possessions you'll ever see. Really pleasing. 4 kicks, 5 handballs, taken the 1 mark, kicked the 3 goals, laid 4 tackles. He's had 1 inside 50. He's had, that's 6 contested possessions. He's going at nearly 78% efficiency, so he's bucking the trend. In fact, he's just about our, 3rd or 4th highest, most efficient. He's had a clearance, a nice little give out of the pack. So he's certainly had a great start. Jordan Gallucci has also been good when he's been around the ball. And I felt that there's a few times that I've actually noticed Gallucci in really good position. And the Crows haven't given it to him. Rory Atkins a couple of times had the opportunity to give it to Gallucci and didn't. And stuffed up as a consequence. So hopefully Gallucci continues to make position because I felt like he's doing well. only 3 kicks and 3 handballs for 6 posies, but he's laid a couple of tackles, and I just felt like he's having a good start, a couple of contested possessions, so let's see him continue in the second half. All right, now that I've read through all that, let me just read through some of this chat, because there's some people not happy. J-Mac, clean grabs, definitely. We have not grabbed the ball all night. We're not handling the slippery conditions at all. Yeah, I haven't noticed Sloaney copying it that much, though. American Crow talking about the Cavs. Come on, mate. What else have we got now here? Nicky, kicking in danger one way, but before that, not when it was their way. Jake had shepherded out of the mark. All our Guernseys being stretched. No, that was a free kick against Talia, though. The ball was nowhere near it, and he did make contact with the player going for the ball, and you're not allowed to do that, Nick. It was courage by Talia, but at the end of the day, the ball was so far away that he couldn't make a case for actually going for the ball. It went over everyone's head, so I think that one was fair enough. What else have we got here? Yeah, so my take on the first half, we still have too many people that are squibbing the contest. There's been so many occasions where players have not straight-lined the contest at the ball. They've hung back waiting for the receive. I remember a kick into the forward lines in the first quarter where Betts and Charlie were both running for the ball. Betts was being pursued by a Brisbane player. Now, all Charlie needed to do was lay a shepherd. But what he did, he hung off waiting for Betts to pick up the ball so that he could get a cheapie and an easy goal. Of course, in slippery conditions, Betts had a little bit of trouble, and by the time he did control the ball, the contest was halved and it was a ball up. Charlie Cameron looks to be avoiding body contact at the moment. There's been a couple of contests where he has deliberately avoided contact, and I don't know whether he's carrying something like a shoulder, as a couple of people suggested, but just not looking like it at the moment. Brad Crouch is another one, just not looking like it at the moment. Needs to be tougher around the contest. I've really felt like all our on-ballers, apart from Huey's little cameo there, in which he, let's have a look at the tackle numbers here as a case in point. And our leading tackler is none other than Hugh Greenwood, on top of Rory Sloane, as well as Rory Sloane. Jake Kelly with 3, Kirtley Hampton with 3, Betts, Cameron, and Jacobs, Gallucci, and Lynch. Our 2 debutants are in the top half a dozen there, and we've got blokes like Walker, Brown, Crouch, Miller, Douglas, Brad Crouch, Rory Atkins, just not figuring in the tackle count to any great extent at all. So I've been very disappointed with Rory Atkins. I just feel like ever since he got his hair done, he believed the hype, I think, after the first 3 weeks, and he's just stopped working hard. He's just stopped doing the little 1%er things, and he's just squibbing off the back. He's seagulling off the side of contests, and even towards the end there, where the ball was kicked into our defensive half, and Hardigan was running out, and he was trying to shepherd for Atkins. Atkins hesitated before even realising that it was his to go to, and Atkins has got to learn that he's got to go when it's his turn. He's an outside player, but he's still got to go when it's his turn. Let's just take a moment to acknowledge Eddie Betts' goal there. There's a little bit of chat on the Nicky's. I'm not wrong. Nah, he believes his own hype. Believes his own hype. I don't care what the timing is, Nick. But Rory Atkins has believed the hype, and he's just lairising at the moment. He's not working hard at all anymore. Anyway, Eddie's goal. probably goal of the year. I reckon Clayton Oliver's was pretty good from Eddie's pocket last week, but to be able to have that much control of the ball at ground level in these conditions, to be able to feed it through and then get up and have the awareness to thread it through a number of players. It was just an absolute classic, and the bloke he's just a superstar around goals, and he's just words can't do it justice. And without that effort and a couple of Greenwood goals, we would be struggling, particularly because Brisbane has squandered quite a few chances. And if we look at Brisbane's leading possession winners there, they are toweling us up around the contest at the moment. Their main players, Dane Beams is on 19 touches, Daniel Rich on 16, Dane Zorko on 14, as opposed to our midfielders 16, 14 and 14. It's just, we just don't look dangerous in the middle. We don't look as if we're hungry in the middle. We don't seem to have an appetite for the contest in the middle. And as I said, had it not been for our half-back line and our defence in general, generating a little bit of run and carrying and being able to execute some switches as Brisbane tied towards the end of that second quarter, this would be a contest. And I'd imagine the way it looks, I think Brisbane are going to come out and be working hard again after the break, but it doesn't look like they're going to have the legs to actually pull it off. This certainly isn't the type of result that inspires any confidence in the Adelaide Crows whatsoever. A 30-point half-time lead, irrespective of the fact that it's slippery. We just don't look ready for the contest, and we're sadly out of touch at the moment. There are players that are sadly out of touch at the moment. Tex Walker has been anything but impressive. As I mentioned before, Charlie Cameron, anything but impressive. Andy Otten looks just about cooked after a promising first few games. And with Jenkins doing, reasonably well in the twos, I reckon that this might be Andy Otten's last game for a while. These are senior players. Richie Douglas has not grabbed a ball all night. He's a 200-game player, an ex-club champion. He's played enough in the wet, and yet he has not grabbed the ball all night. I never actually doubt Richard Douglas's intent, but he can be lazy and lazy-minded. I think that's his problem. I don't think he switches on enough, and there's been so many instances of him missing the ball. And, he's no orphan. We've let balls through the contest. We've overrun balls. We've gone one-handed. This is basically a wet weather game, and we need to straight line the ball and flatten the hands in the marking contest. These are things that get taught in junior football. Anyway, look, I don't have much else to say. What else is going on here? J-Mac reckons Beach in next week. I would love to see Beachy in next week. I reckon he deserves it. I would love to see them give Beach a run instead of Jenkins. I reckon Jenkins needs 2 or 3 in the twos just to drive home the fact that we want from our $500,000 a year, 5-year centre-half forward, we need a bit more than what he's been showing, and 1 week isn't going to do that. So I'd love to see Jonathan Beach get in there. Yeah, and Squibby, you're right. I do need a bit of a partner. We did try opening up Skype, but no one wanted to call in. So for those listening, I'm just about to wind it up now. But for those listening, next week I'm going to have Skype open, or I might even have a mobile number. And for those that do listen to the main break, and I do thank you for listening, feel free to ring in and have a chat, because it's 15 minutes, and if you listen to me talk for 15 minutes, you're likely going to miss the second half because you've fallen asleep. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. Let's hope the Crows can come out with a little bit more fire in the belly in the second half, and that we can run away with it, because we certainly need the percentage. See you tomorrow night for the wrap.